The city of Hamilton recognizes two local fashion icons of international acclaim, designer Polly Hornberg and model Sheila Ming Burgess, for their lifetime achievement in fashion. A self-described skinny kid from Devonshire, Sheila Ming started her modeling career in Bermuda before moving to London to pursue her dream of becoming one of the world's top high fashion models. For 17 years, she traveled the world working with famous designers such as Armani, Chanel, Dior, Givenchy, Ralph Lauren, and Valentino. She has modeled for royalty, including the Queen and Diana, Princess of Wales, appeared in music videos with superstars such as Whitney Houston, and played Cassandra in the TV series The Young and the Restless. She was voted top mannequin by Mode Avant-Garde magazine and Model of the Year by top European designers.
I love fashion. I love modeling. I just had it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner because I loved it so much. And what was so extraordinary for me is that doing fashion shows, all these people are around and oh wow, it's like having a party. Everyone's coming here to my party. It sounds very infantile, but that's the way I saw it because it was such fun. And I couldn't believe that I was being paid for something that I so enjoyed. I've traveled so much. New York, Hong Kong, Seychelles, Jamaica, Milan, Paris, Germany, Dusseldorf, Munich, Israel. I got my first standing ovation in Israel, in Tel Aviv. It was lovely. I would see other models modeling and I thought, oh, I can do that, perhaps better. So I always aspire to be myself. I'm quite confident in who I am, even with my attributes and imperfections. I did go through times or phases of defeat, but once you get over the pity party, you strive on. My mother would send me a plane ticket and, okay, come on home now, because of course you tell Mum all what you're going through and oh, you're in tears and Mum's on the other end of the phone. Here in Bermuda, I'm all the way over in England, and she would send me a ticket and I would cash it in and pay my rent and go and stay for another couple of years. I started my own grooming school. I didn't want to call it modeling. I want to call it grooming because grooming comes from the inside out. It's not all external. It is internal. If you have internal beauty, it definitely manifests on the outside. It's not all what you see. It's who you are in here. You can be elegant and sensual or sexual in a kaftan. But if you know who you are and you don't lower your standards or principles, it will show through. You don't have to show your wares to be who you think you want to be or to be who people expect you to be. For the models starting out, know that if you do get a rejection, don't take it personal. Don't take it personally because the designer or the client is looking out for their best interests. And if you fail at this one, someone else is going to come along and accept you. I worked at Calypso, and it's amazing that I'm being honored along with Mrs. Hornberg. It's extraordinary, really. It really is an honor. It really is an honor because I left Calypso to go to London, and now I'm back working at Calypso, so I've come full circle. And although I've never said this to anyone before, so I don't think Susanna, her daughter, even knows, but she did inspire me a great deal because watching her and how she carried herself and her designs and made me strive to be a fashion model because we used to model around the swimming pool at Hampton Princess, on the cruise ships in the evening, and at the hotels as well. Of course, modeling Calypso's clothes. It inspired me, that inspired me a great deal.
Polly Hornberg's career began as a fashion model and as a stylist for a New York advertising agency. In the early 1950s, she started designing her own brightly colored resort clothes and sold them in the gatehouse of the family home, Girvan, on Harbor Road. The store was named after Jacques Cousteau's famous boat, Calypso, that at the time was moored in the waters off the Hornberg's residence. Calypso moved to Front Street in 1952, and by 1957, Polly had 6 shops throughout Bermuda and in Jamaica. Calypso fever had also hit New York. Polly's array of ladies' clothing was being featured in Look magazine, Harper's Bazaar, Vogue, and the New York Times. And she was inundated with orders from Bonwit Teller, Neiman Marcus, Saks, Henri Bendel, Lord & Taylor, Abercrombie & Fitch, and Barney's. Her daughter, Susanna, explains her mother's design process.
She would sit there and play with the fabrics that she liked once she'd found a pattern or a color or something. And she'd drape it on herself and see how it looked best, whether it was going to be a long skirt or whether it should be something with a slit way up here that was skinny and sexy, or a full short skirt. She experimented all the time. And because she studied journalism as a child or as a young student, nothing to do with fashion. So it just kind of developed, as she was always fascinated by the fashion magazines. She looked at those all the time, and I think she just kind of picked it up. She progressed, she watched fashion, and then they'd go to Europe every now and then, and she'd see something fantastic in one of the designers or in some little boutique that she thought, that's a great style, I'll interpret it this way, and she'd bring it home and do something in her fashion after it. So she was always, she just was incredibly creative. She painted as well, oil painting, and her paintings are very carefree and easy. Nothing is detailed. Everything is flows and is big and bold and colorful. Her best friend, she had 2 very good friends in New York, and both were in the fashion world. At different times. One was the editor of Harper's Bazaar, and at the same time, the other one was Vogue. So this is how she got the in, and she used to create a line, and these ladies would put in a good word with one of the big stores and say, I've got this friend in Bermuda, she does fabulous stuff, you really should look at it. And then they had a little showroom in New York, right behind the Plaza Hotel, where they would ship up the samples, and then they'd make appointments for all the big stores and the big names to come in and look, and they'd place orders. Everything was sewn in this room. So if they were late, it was crazy in here. There were about 20 seamstresses and the ladies who were jeweling and the ladies who were quilting and everything. It was fascinating. At the age of 10 to 15, I was always, first of all, in awe, and then as I got a little bit older, kind of mortified when she'd show up in these things that were so flashy, because as a child, you don't want to be noticed particularly. And Mom, where are you going in that? But looking back, and as I matured, I thought, oh God, she's so fabulous. No matter what she wears or what she puts on, it's done with style. And these were all made right here in this room where we're standing. First of all, this was the workroom, and every color that she could, or every fabric and print that was islandy or bright and cheerful, pinks and oranges, everything that we could get or that she could get her hands on that was kind of shocking, because in the past nobody wore pink and orange together. It was always a clashing thing. So sundresses in silk and cottons and all sorts of different fabrics. The Polly pants certainly would be a great hit now. They're thin, narrow pants, rather like what I'm wearing, but they were in all sorts of colors, all the fabrics that she used. You could order your solid colors in any color you chose. People would come in and say, I want a pink, a lime, and a turquoise. Or you could have the pattern ones. We did patchwork from all the bits of scraps that were around, but they were, I mean, they were selling like crazy. It was wonderful. And then the skin diver thing, the whole bathing suit with the long sleeves, she got the idea from a famous old designer whose name was Rudy Gernrich, who created a long sleeve bathing suit that was sensational. And then Mom found this fabric, the elasticated fabric, that in all different colors, stripes and solids, that she used.
Portraits of these two Bermudian fashion icons who achieved international acclaim, proudly brought to you by the City of Hamilton.